Hello and welcome to Moviefone. Moviefone TV is your ticket to all that's new at the movies. In theaters now. An ordinary rideshare turns into a deadly game of cat and mouse in the high-stakes thriller Amber Alert, starring Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams.
This is Sergeant Casey requesting an Amber Alert, immediate dispatch.
Oh, I hate these.
After I read the script, my emotions were all over the place, just as a human being, not even reading it as a character to play, but it was a story that I knew, I felt in my gut needed to be told.
First reaction was that it posed a very interesting question, which is what would you do if a Amber Alert was literally right in front of you?
911, what's your emergency?
Yes, I think I see the car from the Amber Alert. Get closer.
These two people will, in some way, shape, or form, be in each other's lives forever because of this experience. And I think it shows how two people from two different walks of life can both hook into this idea of a child is in danger. I think that resonates across the board for people. And that's the connective point. I don't think these two would have ever spoken in any other scenario. I think they would have passed each other on the street and never even checked into each other's lives. But a simple, innate human desire to protect or to preserve the life, specifically of kids, is what brings them together.
Are you guys coming?
The closest available unit is half an hour away.
I've lost signal.
Are you calling them back? Are they coming?
If we don't find him, she'll be gone forever.
At first, I felt ashamed of myself for not getting these Amber Alerts and not taking more time to look around me.
As a human being, we like to believe that if people need help, we would help them. But that doesn't get challenged very often. And I think that's what's happening here.
So I not only did it because I thought it could be an amazing movie and a scary one at that, but also as like a PSA to hopefully change people's perspectives on Amber Alerts.
Now on Netflix. Old grievances collide when a set of estranged sisters converge to care for their ailing father, as Carrie Coon, Elizabeth Olsen, and Natasha Lyonne star in His Three Daughters.
I understand what a stressful situation it is. It's very nice that you're all here at a time like this. We all want your father to transition as peaceful as possible.
It's nice that it's us. This is the way it should be, the way he would want it.
I'm somebody that goes out very early in the morning in New York City with a little notepad and write different random ideas, thinking like, oh, maybe that's a story I could explore and that's a story. And then realizing that each of these different stories I was interested in could be represented by these three different characters, these three sisters.
Gosh, I read it. It starts with Kerry speaking. And like any natural person, I was like, oh, I should probably play that part. And then I was like, oh, the stoner, what a stretch. And I was like, God, I can't believe Ozza thinks I can do this.
You know, she hasn't done a shift, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't find that strange? Once we get here, she steps back from all responsibility?
These women were so clear in his mind that as we inched towards the inside of his mind, we were all able to make this like amazing alchemy of something from all four of us.
Look, they may act like they got it, but they don't. Okay?
I think having these separate stories to begin and finding out where they joined allowed me to think about very much how actors share a frame or don't share a frame.
We luckily had some time before shooting that we were able to allot to, you know, a rehearsal place for actually running through dialogue, finding a rhythm, finding the pacing that Ozza had in his brain that was on the page that we could all get in the same world of.
When I was writing, I would try to write with the visuals always in mind.
That's my dad too, over there, dying. It is my dad, okay?
Well, she's very controlling. That's very obvious. We also, I think, get the feeling that she's got a touch of the alcoholism, which I suspect might be a family disease, as it tends to be. You know, she's clearly somebody who feels like she has control, or she has the illusion of control that gives her comfort.
The specificity of us three and the alchemy of that vision that he had being realized, and the beauty of how it's being sort of received, it's pretty extraordinary. Anyway, I think that's why we kind of said yes.
I'm working on his obituary and was hoping that you could help with it.
Married a couple of crazy bitches, raised a few crazy bitches.
Be a friend to me.
To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviefone.com. Find it, watch it. Up next on Moviefone TV, KJ Apa and Anthony Michael Hall. Moviefone Trivia. Stay tuned for the answer.
You know, it was just a lot of fun. You know, I've never done an action picture where there was that much of a focus on the action.
Moviefone Trivia. Now on Netflix. A Special Forces commando finds herself at odds with the underworld of her hometown as Jessica Alba and Anthony Michael Hall star in Trigger Warning.
Senator.
Parker, back. People like you around here. They like Harry, or liked him. I'd like to keep it that way.
Well, you know, it came up about 3.5 years ago. My managers are a great company, Untitled Management, and they set up a meeting for myself and Molly Soria, the filmmaker. You know, she's a very talented filmmaker, and she was lovely. She was really cool about it. She had grown up watching a lot of my films, and she was really kind enough to invite me to join the party and to make Trigger Warning with them.
I don't think his death was an accident.
Parker, stay out of it.
And it was just a really interesting project from all these vantage points. You know, the fact that we were produced by Thunder Road, who did the John Wick series, so that guaranteed this level of action. We had the 8711, which is this, you know, sort of famous stunt group that does all those films. So they just could not have been more prepared. You know, by the time we got to the set in Santa Fe, the stunt crew had been there for about 5 or 6 weeks. So they pre-visualized everything. They'd already shot the sequences. And so we had fight training and we had choreographed, you know, sequences and training to do. And, you know, it was just a lot of fun. You know, I'd never done an action picture where there was that much of a focus on the action.
There's a safe.
And working with Jessica, she was really game. You know, she really did a good job. I think her acting is excellent. She did a nice job carrying the film. Also, with that background in action, it was very important for her that we execute on those levels.
What the hell you got into? How much does Parker know about this? Too much.
I think acting is often in the eyes more than it is the words. And you're right, there's that backstory element, you know, that she kind of doesn't like me, and you even wonder if Mark does. You know, my son, who's the sheriff, and you know, she's kind of side-eyeing me, going, "This guy, you know, he's a real career politician."
You want to know what really happened to Harry?
Jessica comes ready. She's very serious. You know, she's very serious about her work and is very caring. But she's also a great mom. Like, her daughters were on set with her, and you know, she's very much a take charge woman. You know, I've had the pleasure of meeting her and her husband. You know, before we made the film, and they're cool people. You know, they really are. So I'm happy for it.
Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Now streaming on Prime Video. A thrill-seeking young man tracks down his estranged father for help in pursuing his motorcycle racing dreams as KJ Apa stars in the action-packed drama, One Fast Move.
This evaluation is designed to help you transition into civilian life. The male suspect on motorcycle.
When you watch the movie, we can tell that he doesn't really have any other options left after coming out of prison and being kicked out of the military. And he knows that his only doorway into that is finding his estranged father.
The legend, Dean Miller, speed killer.
And you are?
You knew my mom?
I think what Wes wants a mentor. Doesn't have to be a father. He wants a mentor. He wants a father figure in his life, and biological or not, he wants a father figure in his life to offer him some guidance.
Repeat after me. I don't know how to ride. I don't know how to ride.
Smell of a winner. Let's see what you got.
I play the owner of the motorcycle shop, and Dean is a person that I've been helping, mentoring him be a great racer. And in turn, he has an accident, and in the 20 years, he hasn't been able to really ride again the way he used to as a kid.
Essentially, you have 3 generations of misfits. You have Wes, you have Dean, and you have Abel, who is a father figure to me, just like I end up being a father figure to my actual biological son, Wes.
We soon learned that he really does. He just wanted to get to know who his old man was. You know, he's had that hole in his heart for a long time. And to kind of witness who his father is and be able to live with him and see who this man is huge. And it gives him a lot of information on how he can do things differently as he's gaining success on the pro circuit.
Who's that? Bobby Tresco. It's funded by one of the wealthiest families in the state. A lot of guys are gonna come after you in this sport. You don't beat him by slugging him. You beat him with skill.
I'm an avid motorcyclist, so this film really came from my love of motorcycles and how it really changed my life. And then thematically, you know, I had just come out of my 20s, and during that time, it's a transition from sort of young man to man. And you have all these questions about what it means to be a man in this modern world, and you're looking for so many different answers from different mentors. And this particular film was a great way for me to explore those themes with father and son, and essentially with mentor and young man as well.
It's really about the love between a father and a son, a love between a girl and a boy, and what it takes to get from who you are as you're trying to live your dream to living your dream and how you got there.
I love stories that are about redemption. I felt like it was scratching an itch that I'd had for a while of really wanting to be a part of something that felt authentic and really real.
The faster I go, the calmer I feel.
So you just need to keep going faster.
Coming up on Moviefone TV, Elliot Page and Erin Moriarty. Moviefone Trivia. The answer when we return.
You know, certainly things are personal in terms of themes, the desire to feel seen.
Moviefone Trivia. Now streaming on demand. Upon returning home for his father's birthday, Elliot Page confronts unresolved wounds and unexpected connections in the emotional drama Close to You.
I'm going home for my dad's birthday.
Oh my gosh!
I haven't gone back in close to 4 years.
Oh, jeez. Bold. That's a bold move.
Is it?
The inspiration, I think, came from really our conversation that we had, the first conversation we had, just about life, about things we like, films we like. We got on, we connected. It felt like we could make something together. And that's what was my first exciting feeling.
I know I'm just nothing but a disappointment to them.
You sort of took off, you've been gone.
You can come to Dad and I for, anything if you need it.
I'm really okay. In so many ways I am for the first time.
Certainly things are personal in terms of themes, the desire to feel seen, and those kinds of things are different moments in this film that I think so many queer and trans people will relate to, of course. So of course, in many ways, I feel connected to the character, but it's quite different.
I just still think of you as my little girl.
In the script, the scenes are very descriptive of what one hopes would be in the scene. You know, it sort of makes sense for the actors to have that map, if you like. In some ways, you know, I quite like to write the scene so that you could imagine the dialogue yourself if you read it.
You were so sad. And the last thing a parent wants is for their kid to be sad.
I've done improv in theatre and really always enjoyed it. So I did have a bit of experience, but nothing to this level. I would say it's an actor's dream, really, to get to dive into the material and into the space and into the character so deeply and with so much freedom.
The most I can think I probably improvised was when I was on Trailer Park Boys at 14. You know, when Hillary says it's an actor's dream, it's true. It's like, we really disappeared in these spaces and got to live in it. We just would go deeper and deeper and deeper. Really amazing experience.
I'm so proud of you, my brave boy, living who you really are.
By the time we get into the scenes, there's freedom to kind of really feel it for the actors. And I think that's the big difference. They know who they are and they know what they're doing and where they're going and all that stuff, but they don't know the absolute detail of where that scene, what it will eventually be. And I find that exciting.
After all these years, that kid was in so much pain before.
Now streaming on demand. Suspicious new neighbors invade the remote Texas hideout of an outlaw and his isolated wife in the dramatic thriller Catching Dust, starring Erin Moriarty.
When I was 12 and a half years old, my mama put $10 in my hand and told me to look after myself. I did as I was told. I looked after myself the only way I knew how.
This was one of those films, I think, where you kind of, it's not always like that, but you write and you let the characters guide you in a way. When I look at it now, I really kind of take it as a very personal thing to just transpose it on a world that is totally different. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier for me to take in.
We think that by making a story more broad and a character more broad and generic, we're going to have that character be more relatable. But the more specific the character and the storyline is, the more it will resonate with us. So the fact that you infuse those specificities is what translates into a film that resonates.
What business you got here?
We wanted to get out of the city for a while. My gut tells me no good can come from those two.
We do live in a world now where everyone feels so connected, right? But we're actually probably the most disconnected we've ever been as a race, right? This idea that you had this character with Gina, who was trying to understand who she was. She's trying to understand her place in the world, her value, but it's totally disconnected from it. And it's almost like an inverse of what we feel now.
They about as much of a threat as a toothless dog.
This ain't no game, Gina. I don't want you messing with them.
My mama was right. Always stretching for things I can't reach.
Even the concept of this script having themes, which it does, of course, it has motifs, it has themes, it has all of these components that any film does. I just love a film and a character that breaks all the boxes that you want to put it into.
I was alone. I was really scared. If he hurts somebody and you don't stop him, then that's on you forever.
Just because other people open your eyes doesn't mean that that's what determines your strength. It's how you behave in reaction to those moments in your life. And she behaves in a way that is so painful for her but so necessary. And she puts her oxygen mask on for the first time in her life.
Stay tuned. There's more coming up on Moviefone TV. Thanks for watching Moviefone TV. To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviefone.com. Find it, watch it.